Most sort of bar backs are designed, I think, by architects and not by bartenders, which is why the layout generally is quite flawed. What is specifically wrong with this bar is only within the context of the overall space. So when you've got a small bar that only seats 30 or 40 people, your nightly turnover in terms of number of drinks served is quite limited, right, in comparison to a lot of larger bars. So something like having 3 or 4 beer taps and having a bar gun where you've got your Coke and your Sprite and whatever is completely superfluous. It's just extra and completely unnecessary and takes up massive amounts of space. All right, so you've seen sort of the problems with the existing setup. What I've done since then is try and design a bar back that works with the operation as I know it. The way I thought it through was in terms of workflow. So if you approach building your bar in terms of what happens first, and then what happens next, and then what happens after that, and then you lay it out so that all of that process is essentially laid out in sequence, it's a lot easier to work behind that bar. What we have here this is a hand-drawn diagram. It's gone through a few changes since then, but this was the first one that I sat down and did the first day that I walked in here. And basically what you're looking at is a counterclockwise service sequence. You start off with your dirty dishes being delivered from the room to this countertop, all right? And you've got your garbage bin underneath here. No need to pull anything out, just throw it in, all right? So this is dirty dishes gets dropped here. If they're an odd size, we wash them in this sink. For example, your martini glass gets washed in this sink. If they're any other size, we use the spool boy, which basically we just up and down like this and rinse it. That's a very easy way to do things. On top of our under-counter chiller, this is sort of a first, we've installed a drip tray which has its own drainage, so we never have to, we never get full of water and nothing ever overflows. After that, this is where the drink preparation, the bulk of the drink preparation happens. We've got 2 wells. The first is a bottle well, which is very unusual. Most bars don't actually spring for something like this. This is custom built, and what we're able to do is keep our cocktail spirits chilled at all times. So we don't take a warm or a room temperature bottle of gin. We take a really cold, basically like a 4 or 5 degree bottle of gin, and that goes into our cocktails. And the logic behind that is that if the spirits themselves are already cold, you don't have to shake it as much, right, in order to chill it, which means that the cocktails you serve are not as watered down and they taste better. All right, next to the bottle well, we have our ice well. So, that's self-explanatory. We need that. And then, interestingly enough, underneath the bottle well, we've got space for our cocktail glasses. So the glassware goes directly underneath the bottle well, which means we can always use chilled martini glasses, chilled champagne coupes, so forth, which again saves us the trouble of lining up the glasses and putting ice in them and all that. With that workflow and with everything placed the way it is, dirty dishes come in, everything is done here, billing is done there, and it goes out, and you can essentially run a bar of this size with 40 guests, full capacity, with no more than 2 staff, which is of course very efficient and quite ideal.
Monkey see, monkey like, monkey do. BananaManaTV.